stove is made of 3/16 inch thick metal. Most of the little stoves you buy out there are like 1/8 inch or less. 3/16 I believe is thick enough that it's going to probably last a lifetime. It has regular fire brick in it, 1.25 inch thick fire brick, 2 bricks high, brick on the bottom. The draft comes up from here through the front, comes through a pipe on the back into the base, and it has a heat exchanger on the back that the air has to go through. It goes up and down and over and then comes back underneath and out here to preheat the draft, so that if you're sucking the air, the draft air from outside in the cold of the winter, say maybe 20 below zero, it doesn't affect the fire by giving it cold air.
These are not for sale. He doesn't make them for sale. Maybe not yet. Maybe in the future. Maybe not. It's a lot of work.
Probably never.
Probably never.
But you never know.
But for me, for the right price, it'll make me one. With a window, though. I like to have a window because I want to see the flame.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all part of the ambience.
1 inch by 1 inch.
No, something a little bigger. I want to be looking at it with my naked eye, not a telescope. Or a microscope.
We could paint flames on the front of the door.
That's not a bad. Or we could just put a screen in there.
Yeah.
Put an iPhone or iPad and
iPad screen, and yeah, you could, you know.
I think I still prefer a window. Hi, if you like my videos, please click the bell so you can be notified, and come back often because I have new videos every week. Today is the day that hopefully we get the AC in the van. Right now it's just sitting over here on the pallet. My goal for right now is to get all this stuff out of the way, put the adapter or the spacer, glue the spacer to the adapter, and maybe glue the foam to the spacer, and then let it sit and wait for Jerry to give me a hand. If I was alone, I would have to do it by myself, but there's no point in risking it. So while I'm waiting for my friend Jerry to get back, I am going to put these inserts in place. I already got one in, and I don't know why they don't put these in to begin with, because they have to go in there. But I was just so surprised that the holes where these things go in don't have any thread. So this thing has a thread, and you got to drive it using a 1/4 inch Allen wrench, and so there's no thread, so you kind of have to push it down and turn it, and it's hard to push it down with this because, you know, it goes all the way through and there's no way to push it properly. So I'm using that, fits in there just perfectly. and allows me to push down and turn until I get the thing started, and then I can use the Allen wrench.
Are we ready?
Yes. Whew. You got it in there? All right. It's not heavy, it's just awkward. That's all right.
I'm pushing.
I'm pushing? Okay. I think I got it.
Go.
I think so.
Okay, push the back north pencil up. Yeah, it's in the hole. All right, try that.
I got a thread on one. Finally done with the installation. Well, almost. What a pain in the butt this was. This is like a nightmare. One person would have been really hard. Not impossible, but hard. The bolts that came with, these right here, were not long enough. Before I even did anything, the installation, earlier, I went into town and I bought some bolts that were half-inch longer. Those were the longest that they had. And even those were not long enough to reach the air conditioner, because I have the roof adapter that's about 1 inch. I have a spacer that's about 1 inch. And then I have the foam that's about 1/2 inch. Plus I have about 1 inch of roof insulation, another 1/4 inch of plywood. So I had spacers in there so I wouldn't compress the foam insulation and all that. I did have to take those spacers out temporarily so I could get the longer bolts to reach the thread and thread that in. It's almost impossible to do it. I mean, if I was by myself, I would have to go in and out so many times trying to wiggle the thing around and then go back in, trying to, without Jerry, it would have been a pain in the butt, or somebody else to help me. But here's an idea that Jerry had, and I had thought of something, but I hadn't thought of that idea, but it would be nice to have beforehand. A threaded bolt without the head, so just the threads. Something long enough to go all the way through, so much longer than it needs to be. I would have threaded those 4 bolts on the air conditioner, and then I would use that as a guide to go right through the hole. Then go right through the hole, then go on the inside, take them out one by one, and then insert the right bolt from underneath. So if I was doing this for a living, that's what I would do from now on, But it's in there. I have the bolts in there temporarily. Tomorrow I'll probably have to go to Missoula and take one of the bolts out and take it with me and get something another half an inch longer if they have it, and then get something another 1 inch longer. Get a few different sizes if they have them. Over here in this area, I went to a couple different stores and only one had something a little longer than this one. It's possible that some other stores will have it. I couldn't find any, so. But it's finally in. Look at that. It looks pretty cool. It's not hooked up, of course. I just set it in there, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. And the profile, I mean, it doesn't look that high, really. So it is noticeable. You'll see. You'll know. Somebody will know that it's an air conditioner. But I got enough room there. I got enough room so that I can lower the vent, which I should try maybe with somebody else. But I took some measurements. Let me just see. And they're covered. No, I think it's fine, because I checked and double checked, and I had enough clearance. Yeah, so pretty happy to have that done. Still not quite done. I think there's another night inside Jerry's resort and building inn, and then tomorrow I'll I'll get this done and then hopefully connected and working before I leave Montana. So, what a pain in the butt, folks. But it's finally almost in. Needs the trim that goes around this that's going to hide the bolts and make it look nicer. This is just here temporarily so Marina doesn't go in there. I got the wire, the cables for this. She doesn't chew on electrical cables, but what are the chances, you know? I have this one hanging in here and she chews on the end and then it's a mess. So I put the door back just for now. Eventually I'm going to design this so that I can still utilize that area for clothing, and the air conditioner still functions because the vents are in the back. If they were in the front, it would have been better, but they're all the way in the back, so it is what it is.
Oh, what you doing over there? You taking a break?
If it was just me, I probably wouldn't even think of installing one, but having a kitty made me look again and made me come to the realization that having an AC would be a good thing for her and for me. So, first time in over 10 years, over 10 summers, living in a van in New Jersey in the summer, working, that I'll have AC. And you don't know what difference that's going to make. You know, it's even if it just takes the edge off the humidity and the heat, it's going to be a blessing. So I'm very happy. And if I can get my old spot back that I've had for the past 2 years, and if I can plug in, it's going to be wonderful. Even if I can't plug in, I'll use my generator a couple hours, maybe an hour in the morning, a couple hours in the evening, and I'll cool it down, and then I can run it on eco mode. So yeah, it's going to be nice. It's a lot of work, but the end result will be nice. Went to a different store, got a few 4 bolts longer than these. Hopefully that will work. I got these big washers, but I don't think they're going to fit in there. So these are mine. Jerry gave me 4 of these. I think these will be a little bit better, and I don't even think I need to use these, so I think I'll just use that. I gotta insert these spacers that he cut for me and paint it. We interrupt his high production moving pictures to bring you a quick word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Jerry. That's right, folks. Without Jerry, I wouldn't be able to do this air conditioner. Not at all. I was able to ship it to his place. He was able to help me put it in the roof. You know, without him, it would have been really hard to do it. Not impossible, but really hard. So thank you, Jerry, for all your help. And if you want to be like Jerry, use the coupon code Jerry, and you can get 15% off all the Jerrys you want. Just give him a call. 1-855-555-555. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be what we need. Oh, spacer. Space Cadet. That's a lot better. I think after much effort, I finally got all these bolts in. This thing is in there pretty well. I might check it again, tighten it a little bit better, but it's really good in there. I don't want to break the thing. And now all I got to do is, well, quite a few things, but one thing I have here is this trim that I may have to cut, so I don't have to cut that piece of wood, or I may have to cut that piece of wood there. I'm not sure, but I don't know if I need this to go all the way in. I don't think I need it to go all the way in the cabinet, because in there I'm gonna fix something else. So I think I'm just gonna cut it so that it stops here, comes around, and then countersink for these bolts on washers, and drill a couple more screws, because this thing was designed to go through the roof and onto the air conditioner. There's some inserts in there with threads that you insert in the air conditioner, and then you have the bolts that go through the ceiling into that. But I think it's just asking for more trouble, and just drilling more holes in the roof, and trying to align those holes perfectly. So I'm just gonna drill a couple more holes, and I'm gonna secure it right to the roof here. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. My only decision, or the only thing I have to decide, is whether I'm gonna cut this more here so that this fits all the way around, or not. You know, well, I'll have to decide that. I mean, that's my issue. If I have any advice for somebody doing this for the first time, is to get I forget what they call it. They have a specific name. They're double threaded, so they don't have a head on a bolt. You can thread them from both ends, and something long enough to go right through the roof, through all the spacers that you have through the roof, and you know, and then come down a little bit. So you thread that to the air conditioner, and then when you put it in through the roof, then everything aligns properly, because you can see what you're doing. The way I did it, it was just trying to wiggle it a little bit back and forth until I found where the threads were on the air conditioner. But I got it done, and a little clean up. Well, actually a lot of clean up. I'm gonna have to go to the laundromat and wash all this stuff and clean some dust, and then, like I said, figure this out. But I don't have to do this right now. I can do it little by little, and that's it. I can't wait to see if this thing works. Time to make a little bit more dust in here. I'm gonna cut that piece there. I'm gonna trim this piece here, the one behind, so the cable can go in there, and I'm gonna cover this with paper towel and tape so I don't get dust all over that. And then I'm gonna start wiring it together and see what happens, see where we go from here. Hopefully I'll have it running. Yes, kitty. Hopefully I'll have it running by the end of the day. Oh, ooh, that thing is sharp, folks. Be careful. All right, folks, I got everything connected. This is the moment of truth. I don't even know which one is, I guess this one maybe? Okay, we don't have power. It ain't working. I wonder if I blew the fuse. Get a little closer maybe? Oh, it works. It works! Look at that! How come this thing didn't turn it on? Oh, maybe it needs a battery? 62 Fahrenheit. Oh, it's blowing. Woo-hoo! Ha ha! Let's see how much power we are drawing. 12.6. Oh yeah! It's working! I'm plugged in with my generator, and we're gonna start. I think the first time I need to start with yeah, the first time has to start from there. We're gonna set it, let's set it at 68. It's 74 in the van. So we're gonna let it run for a couple minutes. Ooh! Oh yeah, I feel the cold. Oh, I feel the cold. It works so far. Hopefully it'll work nice this summer. Look at that, folks. It's El Finito. I think it looks pretty good. I stained that piece there that looks dark. I stained it with ebony stained, but it's a different. Focus on me, stupid. Unbelievable. It's a different ebony stain than I used on these cabinets, I think, because it looks a lot darker. All those cabinets, those doors there were stained with ebony, but that was from Minwax, and this one is a different company, so it's probably darker, but it works fine. Look at that. It kind of blends in. It kind of like it's a hole in there, and yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the way focus on me, stupid. Unbelievable. I like the way it came out. So I also stained the thing where my refrigerator sits on, those pieces of wood, and I can still use my cabinet. It's a little smaller than what it used to be, but Marina doesn't care. She's going to go over there anyway. And if you go in there, you're going to be stuck. Okay, now you're going to be stuck. Yeah, you stuck now.
How you doing, Lou?
Some boast in chariots, and some in horses, but we will boast in the name of the Lord, our God. Psalm 27. And just like that, his eggs are cooked. And man, he eats more of like a caveman than I do. Look at that. Unbelievable. Can't take him anywhere.